How's it going, guys? It's Mr. Lone Wolf, and today I fancy going rally logging. So I'm on my second playthrough. Obviously, I got the heavy wrecker back. I wanted to try out this medium log cradle because that's been added to it. I believe that's part of the reason why it went missing for a little while. Yeah, so for this mission, I need one set of medium logs and 4 wooden planks. There is 4 already at the sawmill, fortunately, so that kind of solves that problem. I'm taking a loaf as well as kind of like a weight behind the ramped flatbed, so there's more drag on the flatbed, so it helps keep it straight. It does help it not tip. Scientifically proven by loafs to increase cargo delivery by at least 100%. Yeah, I've also not built a lot of bridges on this playthrough, so I'm kind of just going to cut through past the the non-existent railway bridge, attempt to cut through the water again. That's the general path. That's kind of like the quickest rally route I fancy going for. And yeah, this heavy wrecker, I mean, it does kind of smash itself to pieces along the way. That's generally goes with the territory of being able to go fast, but yeah, I don't really think there's anything that can deliver logs quicker than this thing. And then for the second part of the mission is delivering 2 lots of long logs, which we'll get to that in a minute. It was a bit more, ended up being a bit more faffing around, not because of this thing or anything particularly, but well, yeah, we'll see. We'll get there soon. But yeah, this thing is cooking nicely. It's pretty good to have this back, to be honest, to do the logging missions anyway. Like, by the time I'd got this, I did a few missions with it, but not a whole lot. I just generally drove it around like a madman. But yeah, particularly areas of this map have been a bit of a troll. I took it through the river section though. It's still a little bit slow through there. I mean, it's not the end of the world, but that river section is just clearly dialed up far too much. So the good news is it actually is able to pack medium logs now. So not that I've necessarily tried this one before. When I tried all the mods the other week, that I could get the cradle thing on the back, it just wouldn't let any of them pack. And there was that free your logs mod, but I don't know if it's just me. I can't find it in my mod list, so I'm pretty sure that's been removed. And again, this is definitely log rallying. To be fair as well to the heavy wrecker, it's pretty good at not tipping. And of course, the goddamn horse vehicle behind us, he's an absolute professional at not tipping. Well, what the hell is that? A log trailer. What kind of animals would leave a log trailer in the wild like that? Certainly not me. Oh yeah, well, we've already deleted the fuel tank. Fortunately, this thing's got like 500 litres, so it's like a bit of a countdown timer. But yeah, considering this thing absolutely motors, it doesn't really drink a lot of fuel either, so the fuel counting down kind of, yeah, is cancelled out by the fact that this thing doesn't drink anywhere near the amount it should for how powerful and everything it is. Already our suspension's gone as well. I have got some repair points on the heavy wrecker. I wasn't sure how many I could fit on the back because I wasn't sure how long them logs were going to extend out. I've also got the roof rack on the horse if needs be. But at the minute I thought, well, we're making good progress. Again, by the way, I've been absolutely nailed with glitches tonight in like the worst spots possible, like a full house of just the worst timing glitches there is. But all we did was turn left. I hadn't built that. I can't remember what they call that bridge, but it's like one of the first bridges you come to after the fuel station and that. Yeah, I've not built that, so cutting through here anyway. This is where I rolled / rescued the Colob and the Loaf the other day, heading through to the rail yard. And I thought, at this point, I can either go left down the rail tracks or kind of go straight over. I'm trying to bang it into the old Jeff Special at the minute, and try and get flying. I mean, this thing definitely Jeff Special's like a lunatic, but it's, yeah, a little bit choosy when it wants to do it. But when it does it, it definitely does it. Yeah, I wanted to cut through this section because I've tried a few trucks through here. I originally did the P512PF and the Paystar and the Boar through this bit, doing some logging mission, and yeah, they struggled pretty badly. But to be honest, this thing, I mean, it gets through, but you can clearly see it's relatively close to stopping, so it's clearly just a ridiculously difficult section, or just, yeah, overly like boggy and slow. But it's not the end of the world. At least it's only a little patch, so it doesn't really bother me. But it just get a bit more perspective on how bad that area is in the first place. However, once I cut through there, I don't have to go up through that bloody dodgy rocky hill that I got stuck on the other day, where like the medium log trailer was just hooking me, cutting through this log station. I could have got the medium logs from there, but I just wanted to do a bit more log rallying really, so that's why I got them from the first place. And yeah, push him. I look like I kind of figured I would have rolled by now, to be honest, but all things considered, it's going pretty well. I have to say as well, it's so much nicer being able to have a log cradle on a proper truck. Because clearly, I mean, you can see, I appreciate this is the heavy wrecker, but depending on which truck you've got it on, the tippiness of the logs will kind of factor in what truck you're using. So use a very non-tippy truck. If you had like Bruce or yeah, various other trucks, Dolphin would be good. Yeah, you'd have a lot more chance of getting the logs there. With a medium log trailer, you're just at the mercy of that top-heavy dolly axle trailer, which is a nightmare. Yeah, I'm gonna say I'm not too sure how or why that's got 4 wooden planks in. Maybe they just were there already, but I ain't complaining. They're mine now, and I'm off. It's pretty handy that I can just kind of bump my wheel along that wood as well and scoot my way around. Again, dropping the hammer. Like I say, it would have been easier if I could have just cut across the bridge here. But yeah, too much time rallying around. Not enough time delivering bridge supplies. Well, it's not my problem. I was looking now like, that looked a lot thicker on the map. Whereas this time it's, yeah, it's going to be a bit of a tight squeeze. That's what she said. Oh, getting it glitched there as well. Jesus Christ, it really did nail me on everyone. Well, basically, I tried driving up there, but as you can see, I got stuck on a rock. Because I've got a blown tyre, damaged suspension, the fuel's just fuel, but yeah, I think mainly the lowered suspension. I've not really got my wheels pushing down enough to grip on anything. So, the goddamn horse. By the way, when I'm towing along for this, he wasn't really designed to be a rescue horse in this situation. I've clearly beat the crap out of him because he was just flying along behind me. It was just to add a counterweight for the trailer to help that stop tipping, but like a goddamn professional. Yeah, the heavy wrecker had already ate all its own supplies. The loaf had to fix itself just to crawl forward a bit, but it still had a few spares left to be able to fix the suspension and the tyres. I didn't bother. Well, I couldn't split, obviously. Like, I could have put a bit into the suspension and a bit into the fuel tank, but the game doesn't let you divvy them up like that, so I just had to blow it all on the suspension. But yeah, the fuel's still looking pretty good. The loaf has got fuel anyway, and you see, it did the job. I had to reverse a little bit and have another little run up, but with the suspension actually being alive, it did the job. The trailer was getting very close to tipping there, so I had to floor it a little bit. Yeah, like I say, you can hear the loaf is getting absolutely nailed. The loaf understands log rallying is a dangerous profession, but like I said, he brought supplies. He knew what he's doing. Definitely gets pretty slow through this section of river as well. Not really too sure why. Well, that'll make more sense in a minute. And sadly, it will glitch in a second, but I will explain now while we're pretty much there. I remember somebody saying this a while ago, but when I go to drop these logs off, I believe it was in the Free Your Logs mod someone was saying about it. But I've only obviously got one set of medium logs on me, but I deliver them and it doesn't take the logs away, so in theory, if I had to deliver 2 lots of logs, I just could have kept clicking it. As I said, I apologise, it glitched the absolute perfect bit where I just dropped the wood and the logs off. So yeah, it let me keep the logs, so that made me think like, oh, possibly for the next bit where I've got to deliver 2 lots of long logs, I'll only have to take 1 lot. The reason I was saying it was a bit slow throughout river is, as you can see now, absolutely hammers its way through that section. And yeah, I mean, this thing is definitely the quickest truck in the game, I reckon, as far as all the mods go. It does motor its way along pretty well. And I know it does kind of, yeah, delete itself along the way, but the amount you can get done before it's, even once the fuel tank's damaged, like the countdown with the fuel probably takes a good 10-15 minutes or something maybe, and yeah, you can get a lot done in that time. Again, look, another glitch, but I rolled it. I absolutely binned the crap out of it. You see me logs rolling off down the hill, so it's sending the horse, of course. It's a bit of a toughie roll in the heavy wrecker as well. I wasn't too sure how it'd be like in the log cradle on the back as well, but it didn't seem too bad. And again, I'm sure it glitches now as well, but all I do is, it was going a bit slow to flip, so I just wanted to swing the trailer around a bit more. That'll kind of help encourage this a little bit. Stick a winch back on, sit there hoovering it. That's a good, as soon as it got that far, I was like, oh, we're good. If it's made it that far off the floor, then it might go a bit slow. You'll start to see as the axles are all broke, as they slowly start to tip over. They act like little pendulums. There's the first one going. Back go, and then yes. 100% rescue record maintained. So yeah, flying back to the garage in an attempt to not leave trailers everywhere. And then now, this is the route I'm going to take to that log station and go to the houses in the corner. There is actually a log trailer that, oh yeah, it was the one we rammed earlier. So I was going to obviously set off with a long log trailer, but I'm going to collect that one on the way. And then I'm going to go up here. I've never been this way before. Over that bridge, I'm not even sure what I was expecting. It looks pretty angled there and steep, but there is another bridge down there, so it implies there is a route here. I mean, you can see it's not even, the map's still in the dark, which made me think I might even take a radar trailer with a loaf as well. Yeah, so that's the route. It's like, cuts out that last little trollish section. I did this mission the other week, but with my normal playthrough, I did it with the bandit and the steptoe, I believe it was. And yeah, it was a bit of a toughie for them. For some reason, it keeps winching like the opposite sides of each other, so the loaf's kind of sticking out to the right. But drop the hammer, loaf does a nice fat drift, but stays on his wheels. He's a goddamn horse, and we're off. And yeah, with this setup, to be fair, I mean, the heavy wrecker is motoring it along. I've been able to fit more supplies on because the logs do sit quite far back with the long log situation, but still, like I say, well, I've brought the loaf for a couple of reasons. As I said, I would actually like to bring the radar trailer just to discover that last little corner, as that's the only bit on my whole map that is like still in the shade. And yeah, as well, again, as like a weight anchor on the back of the long log trailer, so it honestly does. It's like, because it's dragging something behind it, it's harder for the trailer to flip, and it does actually work pretty well. I've used it before, and I'll use it again. Like I said, there's always a use for a loaf. So what I was hoping is try and ram that trailer around. I cut a lot of this out because, I mean, look at it. I was like, oh my god, I've got to scroll for all of these. I was trying to winch to the end of the trailer, and I realised when I nearly got there, it wasn't even offering me that winch point. I wasn't looking at the front of the truck, I was looking at the trailer, and I rolled it. We all know what that means. Sending the hot. I mean, this is another reason to bring him. See, part of it to me, I was thinking about it earlier, is like a pretty good way to explain it as well. One of many reasons I bring myself a loaf is, like, I've just rolled it now. I would have to, it wouldn't be the end of the world. I could recover to the garage and drive back here. But in the real world, you can't recover to the garage and just drive back there. So in a way, it's a little bit like a hard mode as well, if I can. That I've brought something with me and I'm flipping it, like theoretically you'd have to if you're out in the middle of nowhere. Yeah, and you often see like Russian logging videos where they go in pairs and that. I assume if one of them tips, the other one has to try and help flip them back over and stuff. So it's just one of them where it's almost like a self-imposed, yeah, hard mode that I'm kind of making myself keep rescuing along the way rather than just recovering to the garage all the time. I mean, I will do that if I have to, but if I've got a loaf with me, like I said, he has literally got a 100% rescue record, so every time I've attempted a rescue with a loaf, it's been successful with every single truck I've ever tried. Yeah, I mean, the other nice thing was the loaf on his way past even was able to winch to the front of that trailer and kind of rotate it around, so it was just easy for the heavy wrecker to reverse up to and yeah, get it connected. So anyway, we're back off. It's a little bit of my map messiness tied it up. And motoring up here, considering, I mean, another thing I like with the heavy wrecker, I've got it into the high gear, but I'm blipping the throttle. I could just mash it, and I've no doubt it would smash its way up here, but yeah, it would delete itself quite a lot on the way. In an attempt to try and preserve it a little longer, I'm kind of feathering the throttle a bit just to keep it kind of half and half. But yeah, it's got a very nice high range where it doesn't really fall out of it very easily. There's a log. What are you doing, log? Get out of my way. You had your chance to be part of something great, and you bailed on me. I'm not sure when, but still blaming it. Yeah, and this is where things got a little bit more complicated. So basically, pull up, go to long logs, go to truck, and there's some kind of error message. I didn't really read it at the minute. I think I just delete, detach. the winch. Move forward. I wasn't sure if maybe the loaf was in the way of the logs. But no, it wouldn't let me pack the logs. So after lots of faffing around, I brought this thing just to see, and it was like, nope, that was saying no. Like, it just, what does it say? Something like the trailer's not suitable or something, or the trailer can't have that cargo. So while I was here, this thing had a crane on it. I thought I'd load the logs and just see if loading them manually actually helped. I only left this bit, and this is one of the few times I was half these. I still really don't like this crane. Like I said, it rotates the wrong way, which is just counterintuitive, but that's not the end of the world. I just don't like the floppy head on it that, I mean, look at it again. I've got these logs about as close to the middle as you'd need to, and they just tilt up like a madman. Thankfully, I got them wedged in there. I got my wood in. Definitely what she said. And we're in. So yeah, I'll skip the rest. I'll save you the my painful manoeuvres on the crane. So yeah, once you load them manually and go to pack the vehicle, it did kept saying your trailer's at the wrong angle, all that. I cut a bit of that out, but yeah, it did actually let me pack them. But then I was thinking, well, I'd now like to know if that was the case with a heavy wrecker. Plus, I'd rather do the rest of this mission with a heavy wrecker since it's been gone for ages. Yeah, you can see there that moaned about the angle of my trailer. Done. And to be honest, this was a handy backup because, as I said, I need 2 lots of long logs. But when I went to the first place, it let me deliver the medium logs, but keep them. So I was hoping that I could just take the heavy wrecker now, and like I said, it'd deliver the first set of logs, but I'd keep these and then just click it again, and that's that done. So I was like, yeah, I'm taking the loaf. We'll leave that. Azov 7330. What's he called? Long John and Juicy Bruce. Kind of got 2 nicknames. Yeah, but I'm glad I brought this one in the end, because, and that's just to let everyone know as well, if you ever get in that situation where it says trailer's not suitable, you're going to need the crane with you. Thankfully, with this truck, you can easily fit the crane on and still fit all the supplies on as well. It's got like an extra toolbox, and you can see like the wheels and the extra fuel or whatever. So yeah, like I say, I still wanted to take the loaf because it's got the, I've brought the radar trailer with me. Came this far, I'm not leaving him now. So far it's not been too bad. There's a little bridge, so I am technically allowed to go this way, but you can see now it starts getting a little bit tippy. Certainly worried me enough to drop it out high. Yeah, I mean, in theory, I think you could go to the left, or this kind of swerve off to the right if you've got something that you think is going to tip. Obviously, it'll end up taking you a different way, but that might be like the backup plan. Thankfully, though, this thing's yeah, pretty good at not tipping, so that's part of the reason I've got these like dual set of tyres on. They obviously sit nice and wide, so it does help a little bit with the tipping as well. And yeah, that was probably the scariest section. Once you get past that, it's kind of still leans a little bit, but nothing too special. And as I said, there was a bridge down here, so I kind of knew it in theory as a route, but it certainly wasn't making it easy. Again with the glitches, apologies for that. Not really missed anything special out, but it was about the only time. It seems to have glitched every little bit. It glitched me delivering the medium logs and glitched me crashing the this thing. I'm sure it glitched. Well, yeah, there's been a few other things. See, last time when I was doing this mission, it's not this same gorge or cutout or whatever, but as you can see, it's nailed with rocks. At least I was driving down it that time, so I could still keep a decent speed. Last time with the Bandit and the Steptoe, I had to go up a really steep one, and it was a beast. It was like barely going about 1 mile an hour. Although, to be fair, I didn't feel as like, that didn't bother me that I was going 1 mile an hour because I was going up a very steep. It's actually, yeah, that section to my right now, I had to drive up that with the Bandit and the Steptoe. But yeah, that makes more sense. Going slow through the farm just feels unnecessarily like added for the sake of adding it. So, get here. Deliver my logs. Oh, and it took them. I was like, oh my god, are you joking? So, yeah, I need another set of long logs. And in that sense, like I said, fortunately, I had just tested out and had some logs. Here's some I made earlier. So we could set off with this thing. I suppose this highlights a little difference between, this is definitely a very good truck, without a doubt, and got plenty of power and all the rest of it, but compared to the heavy wrecker, you could tell even this thing was a bit slower and a bit weaker, like I said, relatively speaking. It's catching my nose quite a bit, but I've put that bumper on. I like that bumper. For some reason, it reminds me of, if anyone's seen Wolf Creek or Wolf's Creek 2, it's like a serial killer in Australia, Mick Taylor. It's pretty good, to be honest. Yeah, he steals someone's truck as he's chasing someone down, and they have that bumper on the front. I know it's random, but it just reminds me of it. And in case I ever need to become a serial killer, then you've got to have the right tools for the job. Yeah, this one was making me more nervous, because like I said, the heavy wrecker did sit wider anyway. Whereas this is actually, when you get here now, it's like, it's quite a narrow truck. And I've got the crane weight kind of at the top and all sorts, but to its credit, I just knew if I got to that bit and I could like lean on that rock, it wouldn't go. And I made it. I made it that far anyway. In theory, down to the easier bit now. This one's not as bad as taking damage either. It didn't completely annihilate itself on the way. Take the odd hit as you do anyway, but yeah, the heavy wrecker is definitely... The heavy wrecker could do with some like that toolbox or whatever on it, giving you like 5,000 repair points or something. But again, it's like the amount it can get done regardless is yeah, it's basically easy mode trucking. Like doing the missions in Amandra, I may well take the heavy wrecker. Heavy wrecker and the A's of Iceberg, I might do a mission with those two soon, so they'll probably make a pretty hefty, meaty pair between them. And fortunately for me, I assume around now the saving cogs are going to appear, yeah. The reason I say that is because I dropped the hammer through here. This was a little bit sketchy when I came through the heavy wrecker. I did clip that rock. And I did tip, and as I said, I can see the saving cogs, but save the footage, load it up. As soon as you see the saving cog starts, that's when it like actually saves from, even though they might take 10 or 20 seconds to disappear. So fortunately, I reloaded, and it literally started me like in the perfect spot to have another go. It's like a free, like a Super Mario mushroom. Just got a one-up. Yeah, there's that gorge again that I have to drive up. See, with the bumper catching a bit, but not the end of the world. We got through there pretty hassle-free. See, the power, it wasn't... I think I might have tried to go in high then, as you do. And we're here. So yeah, I don't know. It let me keep medium logs. So in theory, I could just deliver as many as I like, but not with the long. So yeah, there was just a quick look at the map. Stick the old radar trailer out. Don't know if I said it before, but that reminds me of what's it called, Audrey 2 from Little Shop of Horrors, when it's folded up. not so much now, to be fair. Old 007 life, spying on everyone, or he's trying to get free satellite TV. What a goddamn professional! There we go. There's one nice, clean-looking map now, fully discovered. Yeah, that's about it for today though. I mean, yeah, that was pretty easy mode rally logging with the heavy wrecker. That's about it for today. I hope you've enjoyed. I hope that helps. Thanks for watching. Thanks to our Patreon members, and I'll be back soon.